All right, it's coming up for the season of Halloween, and a lot of people have been asking for scenario suggestions for the time. And you'll see a lot of people come across from D&D and all that sort of thing during the sort of Halloween festival, looking for something horror to whip out and play for the occasion. So here's my top 5 scenario recommendations for playing with your group. I am excluding The Haunting from the list, as everyone's most likely played it already and they will gravitate towards The Haunting by themselves as it's in the quick start rule. However, if you are new to Call of Cthulhu and you're struggling to find where to start, you should start with The Haunting. It is the answer to all your troubles. It's a great scenario, simple, and it's free. So head on over there and pick that up. But if you are looking for something a little bit different, here are the top 5. I have a few caveats to how I chose these. They must be playable in a single session. I must have played or GM'd in the scenario. I don't recommend games that I have not played. And they must have a Halloween type vibe to them, and they must still be in print. So let's start with number 5, Edge of Darkness. Aware this is a little bit on the laboured side when it comes to the investigation. I would cut and throw all of that out and head straight to the farm for a good time during Halloween night. Without doing that, it's probably not going to hit the 1 session mark, and it could go over. And most of the investigation is absolutely terrible anyway. Where this scenario sings is the old farm. It hits all those cylinders of a horror Halloween game as you set up and create the ritual to be performed on the stroke of midnight to send the lurker back to whence it came before it reanimates the zombies and crushes your little party. It is a classic, it is a fan favourite, and the payoff is well worth the journey. We have a full breakdown for the scenario, you can see on the top of the screen now with a little eye, and this hits a lot of the good vibes. It's found in Call of Cthulhu's starter set. Its setting is an old abandoned farm. It has those Evil Dead vibes as you're sort of like trapped in this like sort of isolated area with all these things outside while you're sort of like waiting for the dawn and trying to get rid of all these sort of monsters you don't quite understand. Number 4, Servants of the Lake. Servants of the Lake is a tense and fun little scenario that has the players tracking down a missing person in the creepiest motel you have seen in a very long time. With a great pair of NPCs, the brothers waste no time to dragging the players into their web, and this is a short and brutal scenario that the players have to have some buy-in into. It does require a little bit of TLC to stop them just getting in the car and running away, but with a few tweaks here and there, this is one of the most perfect Halloween scenarios, as it sort of hits that sort of Bates Motel zombie lake type atmosphere, as the sort of zombies in the woods sort of like crawl around in the dark, and like hidden trapdoors in the floor as the sort of evil pair of cultists start to try and grab the players for their evil machinations. Highly recommended. Moving on to a modern scenario now, at number 3 we have Separation Anxiety. This is a very fun, uncomplex story that will pit you against mutants in the pumpkin patch. What is more Halloween than that? It is an unabashed, over-the-top gore fest that will hit that hillbilly vibe if you are looking for it. There is very little in the way of investigation, and it's mostly focused around the farm and creeping around trying to find the missing person and not get caught. And when it all kicks off, and you should make sure it does kick off, you can find chainsaw-wielding disfigured farmers galore. It is an absolute delight to run and chew the scenery with. If you want to really let loose, this is a scenario for you. It is definitely got that Hills Have Eyes vibe, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre fans will not be disappointed. This is a very, very good time to be had indeed for 1 session. Heading back to 1920s, we're going to number 2, Deadlight, where this doesn't look on the surface very Halloween-ish. It does have that slasher vibe as an unstoppable killer tries to track down the PCs as they're stuck in a gas station during a storm. They will be chased through the dark woods in the traditional classic slashers treatment. The killer is very Lovecraft though, and this glowing light will sort of feed on them and mercilessly kill without stopping. This one I haven't done a breakdown yet, but it will be coming soon. The Deadlight is an absolute joy to run, and it is simple and deadly, oozes atmosphere and tension. It is not perfect by any means, but it is yet another Alan Blythe scenario that is going to be probably a contemporary classic in the making. And we get to number 1. This scenario is very much in the same vein as The Haunting, and vies for contention as one of my favourite scenarios ever. Its payoff is even better than The Haunting, but its investigation isn't quite so strong. But for a one-shot Halloween special, where you're really wanting the players to dig in and really push for that finale within 4 to 5 hours, this scenario is a very, very good contender. It is based around a nice neighbourhood where an upstanding citizen, Mr. Corbett, not to be confused with the Mr. Corbett from The Haunting, is giving out vegetables to the neighbourhood and is a loving member. However, you see him drag a corpse into the house, and it goes from there, having to stalk into the house and really look over the sort of goings on that's happening there. It's got that really the Burbs feeling, and people under the stairs where you're breaking into his house, and the tension where he could be back at any minute is palpable, and that's even before you find out what is lurking within. It can be run long, but I would say this is probably the best thing to be running at this time. And I'll be doing a full breakdown and RPG package for this one in the near future. So with that, with these 5 recommendations, I wish you the best for Halloween, and hopefully that will give you some good food for thought as you pick your poison. And with that, I'll see you again some other time.